Good day, folks. Welcome to the MB Wildman channel. On today's video, we're out here on the edge of a field and we're targeting foxes, coyotes, and bobcats. And I want to show you a real quick and easy setup that you can do called a tire set. Now, this is not something new. Some of you may be using this already, but I just wanted to share with you some of the key benefits to show you just how easy it is to set these things up, especially around old pasture ground or already cultivated, already harvested farmland. Listen, if you haven't yet subscribed to the MB Wildman channel, we sure would appreciate it. Just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's perfectly free, it doesn't cost you anything. And if you want to be notified when we upload new content, just go ahead and click that little bell and you'll get notified when we upload some new videos so you don't miss anything. So here we are, and one of the benefits of using a tire set out in the fall here is that after the fields have been harvested, it doesn't matter if it's soybean, it doesn't matter if it's corn, it doesn't matter if it's wheat or even just silage or whatever it is. It can be a plowed field for that matter. Once the farmers are done and plowed the fields up, this tire set will work. And it works because the tire itself acts as the drawing agent as well as some lure, but it also contains the trap and holds everything in sort of the same place. So let's get to it and I'll show you how quick and easy it is. You're gonna need your favorite coyote or fox trap depending on what you're targeting. For me right now, it's the Duke 550 Pros. That's what we've got. That's what we've got here. You can choose to either stake it or you can choose to drag it. For the tire sets, a lot of the times I use a stake just because that's what I like to use. Now, in the hay bale sets that I did last week on the channel, I do like to put those on the drag because the coyotes will destroy the hay bale. But here, the coyote's not going to destroy the tire. You'll just find it laying over there a little bit. So before we actually set this up, I want to talk to you just a little tiny bit about location for these. So you can't really see it from the camera angle, unfortunately, but this field that I'm in has already been harvested and it's not going to be done anymore this fall. And I'm kind of on a bit of a hill, a bit of a knoll, and there's a bend in the field, so I'm kind of at a back corner. Depending on what your field, kind of shape looks like. If you've got a regular, rectangle shaped field, I would pick one of the back corners and I would keep my tire, for my tire set, I would keep it out from the woods a good 10-15 yards. What you want is you want animals, foxes, coyotes, bobcat, whatever, that are running the edge to be able to see it. But you also want something that's cutting across the middle of the field or, hunting out in the middle or whatever. You also want those animals to be able to look over and go, huh, what's that over there? So we'll take a look at how to set this up. But as far as your set location goes, that's a key thing. Make sure it's good and visible to your animals no matter where they're traveling in the field. The other thing is that you can set multiple sets like this in the same big field depending on the contour or the shape of the field. If you've got a field that kind of makes the S turn or gets around the corner, then you can put a set here and a set over there pretty easy, so you can do more than one of these. Another big benefit of the tire set is that the tire itself, the rubber and the hay or straw that we're going to use to bed this thing, to make this work, really helps to frost proof and to keep your bait fresh, okay? It also keeps it out of the rain. So, it could pour rain on your dirt hole set, fill in the dirt hole, wash the scent away, and all of a sudden you got to rebait and redo it. But these tire sets will stay good even through rain, through snow, through whatever. So as long as your trap doesn't freeze up in the ground, these things will stay running. So, all right, let's get to it. I'm gonna set this up and then I'm gonna kind of walk you and show you kind of what I've done. First thing I'm gonna do is bed the trap. Right, in whatever fashion, whatever way you typically bed your traps, that's what you're going to want to do. Again, it doesn't have to be super specific as far as exact location goes, because wherever you put the trap, we're going to manipulate the tire around it to make it work. So there's my trap all bedded, and again, it doesn't have to be anywhere super specific, just bedded down the way that you normally would. And like I said, I'm leaving mine exposed just to show you sort of what we're doing here and how it works. So the next thing that you need to do is to actually place your tire around your trap. So what you want to do, get a glove on here. What you want to do is you want to place your tire so that it's basically right in the center, so that your trap is in the center of your tire, okay? Just about like that right there, okay? You want to make, this is probably the smallest tire you'd want to go with. This is just a 14-inch small tire from a car or a trailer, but the bigger the tire, you don't need a massive big truck tire, but you do need a tire that is, you don't want a little like a four-wheeler tire or something like that, because they are actually too narrow, okay? So you want to put your trap in the center of your tire. You want to put your tire around it. Just want to make sure that it's, you know, pretty good and stable. It can rock and move around a little bit, but that's it right there. Okay, so you want to do that. Then next, you're going to take a little bit of straw or hay, whatever you got. Now, the other thing you can do, you can see all along the field edge, you've got like goldenrod and little areas of grass that the cutter didn't get. You can actually pull up some of that local stuff if you want and put it in. I like to use bedding straw or hay from a bale, from my hay bale sets or whatever, just because it actually works real well and it stays dry a little longer. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to fill up all of the inside of the rim, fill the whole inside rim here with hay. Okay, so we filled up the inside of the tire with our straw. I use straw, it doesn't matter. You can use hay, like I said, long grass, whatever. And what typically happens is some of the small little shoots will break off and they'll basically cover up your trap for you. And they'll make like, what it does is it makes almost like a funnel down in toward the trap. So check this out. So here's what it looks like this. Okay, so you got your straw all in here, and a few of the little shoots and spreads have actually come across and pretty much camoed my trap up for me. Okay, so the trap is bedded good and solid. And there's kind of what I'm looking at right there as far as the set goes. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take now my favorite lure, whether it be, you know, Hellfire or whatever it is that you're going to use for a coyote lure or fox lure, gland lure, whatever it is, and I'm going to tuck it in the tire, back in here in the hay, right at the back of the tire, at the bottom down in there. And then I'm just going to kind of scoop it up over like that. That does a couple of things. First of all, if you're in a state or a province that doesn't allow exposed bait or open bait, that covers it up. So your bait is actually inside the tire back there, and you get around that rule, or I guess not really get around, but you you abide by that rule by keeping your bait back buried up in the tire. Okay? So it's going to be baited like that. Another thing that does, by keeping your bait tucked way in the back here, is that it forces animals to work this set from multiple directions, and it also forces them, at the end of the day, they're going to have to step into the tire to get their nose in at this bait. Okay, so you'll have animals approach this from multiple directions. They'll smell that bait or they'll see the tire, and then they'll approach it and they'll try to work it. But they can't scrape away at this tire. This is heavy rubber, right? So they can't actually work it from the back. They got to walk around it. They got to sniff it. They got to smell it. They got to put their nose in there. But I'll tell you what, most foxes and coyotes can't get their nose clear back into that bait unless they step 1 foot down inside the tire. All right, so to get close enough, because the distance between their chest and their nose doesn't allow them to sniff way down in at that tire to get at that bait, or to get at that scent, right? So what they're going to have to do in order to get their snout far enough into that hay to really smell what's in there, they're going to have to take 1 foot, step over the tire, and then down onto your trap, and then snap, and you got them at that point, right? The tire keeps your bait fresh, keeps the rain off it. Again, this is a real simple set to do. It's wide open out in the field, and it looks really, really good. The only other thing that I would do is sometimes I take a little bit of hay. I'll show you here. Sometimes I just take a little tiny bit of hay and I lay it on the outside of the tire, just about like that, okay? Now you say, why do you do that? What's that for? It's just that added little bit of offset color. So you've got the black tire and then you've got the hay on the outside, okay? And it just gives it that little bit of extra eye appeal from a distance. Is it necessary? I don't know. Does it work? You know, does it change the effectiveness? I really don't know. I do it because in my brain, it makes sense, okay? So let me go back a little bit and I'm going to show you what this looks like from a distance, okay? So there it is. I'm an animal, you know, and I'm walking through the field. I'm a fox or a coyote, and that bike wouldn't be there, but, you know, I'm looking up here and I'm like, wow, what is that? So out in the middle of this green area, you've got something that's super attractant. It's super visual. It's like, wow, what is that thing right there? So you got the hay that kind of comes out on the side, and it looks like a different in contrast from the rest of the field and the tire, right? So you're walking up to check it out, and this is what you see. It smells really good because you got a lure in there, right? So you walk up and you got to work this set. Anyway, look, I hope this is something that can help you out on your line. Just another quick and easy set that you can do on the edge of the field, you know, looking for fox, coyote, bobcat, whatever you're looking for. I have caught the odd fisher in these, but not as often as you might think. So anyway, listen, again, hope you can use this out on your line. And until next time, happy hunting from the MB Wildman channel.